Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What up? What up? It's your boy Daryl Clark, also known as the Captain.
It's your boy Train.
And welcome to the Backfield. Now, of course, the Backfield is a place where we come to give you the real spiel. And every time we turn on the mic, we're here to inspire, motivate, and inform. Now, for those who have listened and those who have watched, those who have rolled with us since the very beginning, thank you. But if not, take 1 second to like, share, and subscribe to the Backfield Podcast. Of course, we're on YouTube, but all the social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Yes, sir.
My man, A-Train, it's been a minute since we've been on the show.
It's been a little while.
But what better time and what better show to start it off with a very special guest.
Special guest today.
Who we got, Train?
Today we have a father, a mentor, and a coach, elite specialty trainer. Elite.
Elite.
I like that word, elite.
Me too.
I think I was elite. DC, were you elite?
I was.
That's my dog. That's my dog. Yeah, that's my dog. Also, he empowers 5-star athletes around the nation, and what I like to call a traveler.
A traveler.
And I say a traveler because this man travels around the nation holding camps, one-on-one competitions, and giving away tens of thousands of dollars. Listen, you know what? I admire that.
Yes, sir.
Without further ado, we share the last name. My man, Jason Allen, a.k.a. OTB.
Yes,
Coach
sir.
OTB, welcome.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Yes,
What's
sir.
up? What's
My
up,
man.
fellas?
To the show, big
Man,
dog.
man, gratitude.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate that kind introduction, man. You go. That's it.
That's no,
All love, man.
Listen,
All love,
listen,
man.
and
I
you.
appreciate it.
We know you have a lot of accolades, so I just want to touch on something real quick. So when we say elite specialty trainer, why are you elite? I know. Let's tell the people why you're elite.
Elite specialty trainer. So pretty much what I bring to the table, what I offer my athletes, man. So I've always been the coach. I've always been the trainer. You know, specialty trainer means I could train to any position. I could speak to any
Yes, sir.
position.
Come on.
You know, obviously I specialize in defensive back, but I could coach a defensive end. I could coach a wide receiver, whatever the case may be. So what makes it elite is I like to take the raw, the green, you know, just the white canvas board. I don't want the ready-made athlete. I want the guy that's just raw, and I can steal everything in him, and then I put my work ethic into him, and I can see that flourish based off what I'm putting him into and I'm teaching. It takes an elite mindset. It takes an elite work ethic to be able to create that type of athlete. So,
I love what you said, man. You said, I don't want the ready-made athlete.
I don't want the ready-made athlete. There ain't no knock to some of you coaches that just get little Johnny that came out the womb 6'4", running a 4.25 with a 40-inch vertical, and you think you coaching him. Nah, that boy gonna do what he do.
He gonna do that
You know
regardless.
what I mean? Give me the guy with the 2 left feet that really don't have the IQ of the game.
Yeah.
And let me put my Coach OTB, Coach J stamp on him. So
Okay.
Like it.
that's where the elite comes in.
Like
Then
it,
the elite is also a mind state, and it's also just a, you know, just a mentality for the type of players we want. There's good, there's average, you know, there's great,
Yep.
and there's
And
elite.
there's elite.
Legendary, you know what I mean? So that's where I bring that as.
So I also said that you empower 5-star athletes.
Yeah. So
Give me a few names if you don't mind.
there's so much to name. I mean, got to shout out my son Tavian Allen first. Played free safety coming up out of Phoenix, Arizona Central, Cesar Chavez High School. I'm sorry. He had a full ride to University of Hawaii. Got guys like Keely Ringo now with the Eagles, Isaiah Palmel, guys that I've trained, worked with over years since they was babies. Who else? Dorian Singer is over at Utah State right now. Devin Dampier. Just a name. We got Ryland Diller coming up out of Mountain Point High School in Phoenix, Arizona, 4-star. Boy running 4.27.
Yeah.
Junior year.
Derek
you know what I
Stewart.
mean?
Right
Yeah.
on.
Stu.
All
But
day
that-
long.
We had a kid that in my class who ran a 4.27.
Yeah, man.
So I
it's
seen that
different,
moving.
man. So, well, I mean, and these guys, every time I do a podcast, every time I do a show, they get on me because, Coach, you didn't mention me. We got to shout out my baby Deshaun Warner down there going to Kansas, Noah Carter at Alabama. It's just so many of them. We got LaRon Dews, Tyshawn Dews. We just got them just all around the country at this time.
That's awesome. And how long you been doing this?
Well, I know I look young and all that, man, but I've been doing this about 20 years, man. You know?
20 years.
Yeah, I've been doing
20
this
years
about
strong.
20 years. So it started out initially back in Phoenix, Arizona. Daddy ball. I played 9 years of arena football, and it's one of those things that, you know, can't nobody coach my son how I coach him. So when I got to the back end of my playing career, I pretty much wanted to go out there and help out. Started out as the defensive back coach, and then I seen little Johnny need my help, little Danny need my help, and then it was one of those things, you know, kids ain't had no cleats, kids ain't had no helmets.
Yeah.
So that's when the mentor part came in. But about 19, 20 years just coaching in the Valley, and then just continuing to build programs, going against Snoop Dogg and playing these high-level national games, tackle. Then it turned into 7-on-7 leagues or whatever, So I've been doing it for a long time, man, many moons.
Many moons.
That's dope, man.
You said coaching against Snoop.
Yeah, coach against Snoop, man. Y'all go check that out, man. Coach Snoop, episode 3. That was back in like 2016.
Yeah.
You got me. Snoop, you bullied the refs. You bullied the refs. They were scared to throw flags. So, playing against guys like that, Snoop, and just bouncing around. I mean, so many guys I can name. I don't want to cut nobody short, but just putting my kids on a national level. When it just started out, obviously, I wanted to be, these kids have the opportunity. So let me go back to my name. It's an acronym for outside the box.
Okay,
Yeah.
OTB,
So
outside the
Coach
box.
OTB, and it's a mentality. It's a lifestyle. It's a way to think. So me personally, in my upbringing, I was a kid that was supposed to be dead or under the jail, and I did my fair share of bid as a kid. Coming up younger, whatever the case may be. So I had to think outside the box. When I thought outside the box, proved to myself I was who I thought I was, then the world would be able to see that. So when I would look at these kids going without not having, I never wanted them to be like me. So I would start taking care of them, looking out for them, picking them up, dropping them off, because coming up, we just didn't have that. I didn't have nobody taking me to practice. I didn't have nobody paying for me to, play the game. My big brother did it. That was out of his hustle money at 15. So, I didn't really have that. So I wanted to be the big brother, or not the big brother, but, the coach that I didn't have.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where the mentoring came in, and, it just flourished into this.
We had that growing up. Maybe,
Sure
not us specifically, but Little League, Coach Floyd, just
Coach
to name
Floyd.
one.
Yep.
He was
Rest in
definitely
peace.
that guy. So
Shout out to those type coaches, man.
for sure, I was just about to say that. So for you doing that, man, salute, because we've seen it and we know the impact, that it can make on the youth.
I appreciate that, man.
So are you from Phoenix?
Yeah, so originally born in West Virginia, military brat, moved to Texas when I was young. Then we landed in Phoenix, so I pretty much came up in Phoenix, adolescent, adulthood, or whatever, and just pretty much bounced around. Like you said, I'm a traveler, so
Right.
coming from being a military brat, living all over. But yeah, originally from Greenstown, Beckley, Oak Hill, small town in West Virginia. Shout out to West V, one of our number one videos on our episode. So, just a small town kid, came up in Phoenix. Pretty much, that's just why got the name for myself, I should say.
For sure. So in Arizona, grew up there, the football. I got to talk about states when we come to it.
Let's talk about it.
So what are your top 5 states of football, high school football?
So high school football.
I can tell you Arizona ain't up there, but go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you Arizona's definitely up there. I said it.
You in the right?
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
said
state.
it. We
Let
can
me
talk
see.
that talk. Well, obviously you got to go with your Texases, right? There's just great football up there. California, great football up there. You get
No specific order, just 5 in general?
It's kind of been hard, if I'm basing it off of me coaching and moving around, playing sevens, playing youth tackle football,
Facts.
everything just it differentiates.
From what you, okay.
Right.
Okay, but when you get into these one-on-ones, what I'm traveling down with my co-host doing right now, it varies as well. So I'll have to throw Texas, California, Florida in there, obviously. Alabama just surprised me. I'm gonna be honest, Arizona, I have to put in there because I'm biased to it, but Ohio showed me a lot. And I've been mixing and mingling in Ohio. That's where my manager's stationed out here. So he brings me out here quite a bit to do some work, and I've established some training and some networking with these different teams and different guys out here that I train in. It's a lot of good football out
Absolutely.
there. So
I thought it was
I'm
like
eager for tomorrow, but a lot of guys are going to shoot me down. Now, I can tell you different places as far as different positions where I've seen different talent. I've seen some good DBs come up out of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Actually I was calling in Washington, D.B. Florida, the speed and the agility down there.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is the all the way around football player, the size, the look, the speed, everything. California, you get the athletic football player.
Mm-hmm.
What you get in Arizona, right? The skill set, the IQ, the attention to detail, the fundamental, the technically sound football player. So if you do your research and you go back
Man,
to
you
look
talking
at,
about the dudes you coach. You know, everybody. That is a whole. You talking about the guys you coach.
shout out
That
to the
has
dudes that I
something to do with
coach.
you,
Right?
big dog.
Shout out to the dudes that I coach.
Not everybody there.
But
Bro,
listen here, but
that's
look
crazy.
who we got out there. You got Chandler Jordan in the league. You got Byron Murphy from out there. Obviously, Keely Ringo. You got Denzel Burke, one of y'all guys at Ohio State. That's an Arizona kid. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a lot of guys out there, but just different. Terrell Suggs. Like over the years, when you look back at these guys, you produce good guys. Man, we can even go back as old.
Vontez Perfect. I'm sorry, I got to drop that name.
Perfect.
What you think
Hey,
about
shoot.
him? He's a dog,
That's
right?
my dog. He played with my boys, Chris McKenzie and all these boys at ASU. Daryl Robinson. Shout out to my guys, the Manimal, D-Rob. But
I don't like what he did to AB.
you know, like we did that.
I'm a Steelers fan. Y'all see it,
Yeah,
man.
there you go.
He didn't have to do it.
Salute to America's team, the Cowboy. But
man, dang.
nah, you know, I like football players. Now, when
sure.
it's within the confine of the game and the lines, I was one of them chippy guys, man. I was one of them hard nosed. We doing whatever we doing when we doing it. You know what I mean? But it's also in good battle, in good competition. You know, I'm gonna talk my talk. You whoop me, I'm gonna still talk, but I'm gonna get up on the line again. You know, I'm gonna compete.
sure.
I was definitely one of them. Now, my son, he ain't the same as me, but you know, we played it back. You guys seen I was getting ready. I'm kind of mellow. I played it back. But
sure.
When we hit them lines, it's whatever. You know what I mean?
Already.
It's a mentality. So, Vontaze. go ahead.
No, I threw you off with the Vontaze, but I want you to continue to go on with the athletes you said. And
Okay.
you
So
know,
the athletes based out of Arizona, like I said, there's so many of them that we could just keep naming them. But we got quarterbacks. It was a point in time. I think the last couple seasons, you had a lot of quarterbacks coming from out of there. My good buddy Bobby Wade. I remember you was a Vikings fans as well. You know,
Yeah, no doubt.
You guys had my boy B Wade for a year.
Yeah.
For years, I was my childhood friend. There's a lot of different guys, man, that come up out of there. But like I said, the athlete that comes from there is technically sound. You're a quarterback. You got to know Rodney P came from Arizona.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of
So,
course. I
when
give
you
him
get
that. I
to
give you
doing your
that.
research and you get to dig in the guys that come from up out of there, it's like, oh, you know, we've put out some good quality guys. But as far as a football state, not into the past 5 years. You'll get your Challenge, you'll get your Saguaros, you'll get your Hamiltons. They're always ranked nationally. But as far as just a powerhouse football state, high school-wise, no, as of late. You know what I mean? I won't give a status now, but they coming up the ladder, man.
so what type of athletes do you get here in Ohio?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, man. Hey, it's some dogs out here. So I've seen some good receivers. I've seen some good DBs. I train a good, you know. Shout out to Lil Dre. A plethora of DBs out here. Antoine as well. Like, it's some good athletes. And then, you know, just being that this is where football originated. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Shout out to the football state. Can't know how I know what it is.
All day long.
You know, I've been up there several times. I used to play in the Arena League to where we have to play up there in Canton as well. So, you know, it's just good football. It's good stock. But you get athletes out here. So, you know, you'll get a mixture of wide receivers, DBs. I was out the scrimmage today at Westerville North.
Yeah.
Checking
Shout
those
out
guys.
West North.
Shout out to the West
Yeah,
North.
man. Shout out to
Warriors.
those guys, man. Shout out to Coach Jackson, Beanie Wells, all them boys over there. Just appreciate y'all having us out there.
No doubt.
Just hosting the whole one-on-ones tomorrow. But I Glenville out there from
Cleveland.
Glenville.
Yeah, and then the other team.
Madison Trotwood.
Madison Trotwood out of Dayton.
Now, I'm
Yep.
going to tell you, since we're speaking on high schools, because I'm a high school coach myself as well back in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was at Central High School, now over at Cesar Chavez, the structure
Yes, sir.
of Westerville North today, like the coaching staff, the quality of coaches, the alumni, I mean, they had an NFL caliber staff,
Yeah.
literally in
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, all those
and then
guys,
when you
man.
looked at the organization, not to take anything from the other programs, but when you look at the organization of those programs versus the kids that they were playing today, it was kind of like it was night and day.
Did they whoop on them?
They didn't necessarily whoop on them, but they moved the ball most consistently on offense. So most, you know, on offense, on defense, they was coming up feeling it. And shout out to that safety number 2. I was talking trash to him earlier. I forgot my young boy name, but shout out to the safety number 2 over there at Westerville. Coming up, you know, filling that lane, that safety. It's not a hard thing to do. These guys is lining up in our formation. You know, it's a new area. Everybody spread. Everybody read option. These boys just, you know, double tight, lining up our formation running down. Our formation running downhill. My little young boy coming up smacking. You know what I mean? So,
What year is he? You know the year he
I
in?
don't.
he has 6 offers. There's another one. They got
I think he's a junior.
quite a few offers over there. I think he is a junior, but he a dog, man. So guys like that, you know, I like to see those type of tough kids still.
For sure.
Because it's a generation era. These kids ain't so tough. I come from that, you know, last era where it was okay to be tough. So that's a lost art. But what I did see today was an athlete and the toughness. And that's another thing. These Ohio kids are pretty tough.
They're very disciplined too, man. Very, very
West
disciplined.
North?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about. I know, you know, when you said Florida, that's the speed, and then you know you got Texas, which got the size and speed.
Yeah, you just jogged my memory
I
because
like-
I could remember as we talked.
Yeah. I just think that Ohio, we got
I
that
was about-
size, speed,
Yeah,
and
the IQ.
the IQ.
So that's
sure.
what I give you. I got IQ.
Yeah.
Y'all got IQ and they got technique, man. So when I was out here,
So that puts us above everybody else then.
you know.
I thought he was gonna leave us off the list for a second.
Hold on.
Leave us off the list.
And my West Virginia people gonna be like, Coach, you always talking about West Virginia bragging. I ain't leave West Virginia off the list, but at the end of the day, there's pockets of West Virginia
For sure.
that have good
Yeah.
talent. You know what I mean? So shout out to those pockets of West Virginia. Obviously the Oak Hills, obviously the Huntingtons, Morgantowns, Wheeling. They got some good kids up there.
Okay.
But just states as whole, you know what I mean? We're still kind of running behind. But I definitely throw Arizona in that conversation any day, based on the last 5 years.
What you think?
I like that,
DC?
right? Man, you know, being biased, you know, I'm gonna put OH on top. You know what I mean?
IO.
But
No,
didn't
I mean,
finish
I
it.
finished it.
ain't
You said
finished
the OH part.
That's cool.
He a
That's
Penn State
cool.
guy. He said OH. I said IO.
That's
So we
cool.
know what you
There
really
we
like,
go.
but go ahead.
For the
There we
sake
go.
of the topic, I'm gonna just say it again, but you'll never hear me put that all together. Man. Shout out to my Penn State people out there for sure.
that's a rivalry.
Nittany Nation, you know how it go down. But yeah, you know, me being biased, me being from Ohio, and you know, me rocking with A-Train since the very beginning. Yeah, man, you know, we can compete with all of the squads, all of the teams, all of the states that you mentioned. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing like the spirit of competition here in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, no. So these guys definitely get turned up, and when I was out there, I think I kept mentioning it to you today. It was just a football atmosphere.
Absolutely.
It was just like, man, football, and everywhere you go, you got Beanie Wells out here, you got Ted Gidd Jr., Ted Gidd Senior on the field. You know what I mean? It's good football element just all the way around. The conversation, like you said, the kids had IQ. They knew what they was watching. They cheering on their compadres as far as, you know, being good teammates. So I like that. I'm a sports guy. I'm a team guy. So just to be able to see that as a whole, and I'm curious to see how they get down tomorrow.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I'm just, you know, they talking. Yeah, when it comes to these one-on-ones, it's been some, you know, competitive states now. As far as the one-on-one format, I know we're gonna get into that, but we're talking about one-on-one.
We can roll it to right now.
Yeah, listen, Arizona.
That was next.
It originated in Arizona, and we still top 5 states when it comes to that.
To the one-on-one.
To the one-on-one, hands down, hands down, hands down. Hey, do your research. Go back and start with the PS5. That's the first one, right?
Okay.
When I linked up with D, we did the first episode. We gave away a PS5 and like $500. We looked at each other like we got something here. You know, we spun and black did a block. We did a nighttime episode. We went crazy again.
Yeah.
We bought a third episode that ended up going viral. You know, and it was just like, man, we got something. We got to get on the road with it.
Yeah.
But Arizona, that's where you'll see the technique and the fundamental, you know. And then Arizona's a training hub as well, as far as, you know, the pros and the athletes just coming out there to train because of the weather.
The weather, right?
The weather. Yep.
Yeah, so you're going to get a lot of that. And then you're going to get a lot of athlete kids that's out there as well, retired athlete kids as well. So, you know, it's a good regimen for training out there. But as far as the one-on-ones, I got to put Arizona up there. Got to put Dallas up there. Man, energy, that's a different thing, dude. Where we basing off of technique, we're going to definitely, you know, Atlanta. Atlanta do good every time. Every video is probably 10 million plus views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Both, we did Atlanta twice on both of them episodes. Shout out to my dog, Scoopzilla, down there in Atlanta.
Shout out to school.
Shout out to Scoop. Scoopzilla.
Scoopzilla, that's my right hand. Memphis went crazy this time around. Pittsburgh went crazy. Yeah,
Pittsburgh,
right now.
I saw that Pittsburgh episode, man. It looked like it really had some energy.
mean, a lot of people are just catching on the wave right now, but me and D been rocking since 2021, and we've done so many cities. We've done 2 NFL tours now, so, you know, some of these cities that I'm talking about, guys might not even remember, but early on, we used to get after it. You know what I mean? Charlotte ended up getting shut down. Charlotte might have been one of the best episodes to come out if we would have been able to got through it. We got to 20 competitors, and then it's too much people. It's like 5,000 people on the field. So,
Wow.
Sheesh.
yeah, we bringing the community out. We bring the neighborhood out. You know, that's what it's always been about. Even when we start, you know, I can understand the, you know, the celebrity aspect of it. I never get caught up in that. I'm not nobody's idol. I'm not nobody's, none of that. I don't got fans. I don't believe in that type of stuff.
You know what? I
mean?
get that sense from you.
Yeah,
Very down to earth,
so,
humble.
Yeah, humble. It's a humility. I don't live too much
Grounded.
life. I try to, you know, stay even killed. I don't want to get too high. I don't want to get too low. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm grateful for all of this, but, you know, you guys are my supporters.
Yeah.
You guys are not my fans. I'm not your idol. You know what I mean? I don't idolize no man. You know, I have a favorite player. I have a favorite, you know, guys that I looked up to. But at the end of the day, so it's one of those things with my co-host, Destroying. Shout out to Destroying, giving me the platform, you know, just
Shout out
Destroying all
Destroying.
these years. You know, that young man, just a smart man. You know, just pretty much what he did on YouTube. He's turned me on to a lot of stuff on YouTube. I call him my son, just based on the age. He's literally as old as my oldest son. So, you know, we just built that relationship. But I always told him we're not charging. We're not going to charge for the event. We don't want to make the people sit in the stands. We want to be able to be those celebrities that you could touch and you give
Right
back
there.
to and reach, and you know you can sign autographs. We taking pictures. Obviously, there's situations that have changed that. So in a nutshell, that's what this was built on: just community, giving back. You know what I mean? Just being in touch, being in tune, and not being bigger than what we're here to do. And I think it's serving a purpose. You know what I mean? Just getting kids exposure the whole nine.
Yeah, man. And that event has taken the country by storm, and I just want to formally, you know, to tell you, we appreciate you, you know, guys finally coming on up to Ohio and putting on.
Long overdue.
I know Columbus is gonna show up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be a showdown. You know I'll be there. Train will be there.
Man, somebody said he gonna be throwing tomorrow, but I don't know.
Listen, if he's throwing, I'm running routes.
I wanted to listen. Listen.
It's 10K on the floor.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
So, in terms of the quarterbacks, are there specific ones that you pick out, or
Nah,
can anybody
so-
just hop in?
So for a lot of guys ask that question. So pretty much as far as the quarterbacks goes, it's just, first come, first serve.
I got it.
Kind of like the eye test. We know what a quarterback look like. And then in the evaluation round, you got guys out there running routes trying to get these bands for deal, receiver coaches or whatnot.
Right.
So as they're running the routes and, getting evaluated, we also looking at the quarterbacks. And we'll give kids opportunity to throw early on, but, we start to narrow it down to about 3 main guys.
For sure.
And then we get to the money round. If it's one guy that's locked in, then we go on with him. But, just by the grace of God, we've had guys like Michael Vick come through. We've had Cam. Shout out to my dog, Cam Newton.
Shout out Cam.
Hey,
Ace Boogie.
hey, that's your boy.
That's my
shout out to
that's
my
my dog,
Cam,
man.
you know
That's
what
my
I mean?
dog, Cam, man. No, you know. That's my dog, Cam,
It's
man.
a backstory.
In Atlanta, man.
Hey,
Hey.
we just said it one time on the episode. Come on, man. He don't know.
No,
Yeah,
real
tell it.
quick.
Go ahead.
What happened?
They always have down in Atlanta. They always have a real big flag football tournament or whatever. This was some years back. I'd probably say about 7 years.
Okay.
7, 8 years. And I went down to play with my best friend Walt Lacey. Shout out to Walt. He brought me down. Man, the fields was packed. They had all the teams together. Cam had his own team.
Yep.
And he played wide receiver. He never played quarterback down there or whatever. But like he had a little setup, had his friends and all that, little entourage. I remember him going, he had the big towel over his head and the big C1N cleats and all that. And I saw him. I walked up to him. He had the towel over, had a little Gatorade. I was like, hey, man, big fan of yours, big dog. I appreciate all that you do. Big fan, big fan. That man stuck his fist out like this. I said, hey, bro, I play quarterback too, man. You can do a little better than that.
Oh, yeah.
You can do a little better than that. He like, my bad, dog.
Yeah, I'm
Clapped
about to
up,
say,
you know,
man.
So
Hey.
shout out to Ace Boogie, man. You tried to
Hey.
big time me, but I wasn't gonna let that
I
ride.
did.
Hey,
He
so
tried.
I
He
got
tried.
I got some footage
You know what
on
I'm
there
saying?
where we was at the Super Bowl event this past year. We was at the flag game, the Super Bowl celebrity flag game. And that's my dog. Like I said, we battle each other. I coach 707 as well, so I see the C1N. Shout out to the whole C1N nation. But I came in, he's Cam. He's sitting down like royalty in the chair, legs crossed, and everybody talking to him and such. They standing up while he's sitting down. I go to, I'm not about to talk to you like that, know. So, being Cam in true fashion, he stood up, greeted me, paid homage. But he's a real life down to earth
Solid
dude.
dude, man.
Somebody near
Yeah.
and dear to my heart, because what I do, he does, and he does it, and a lot of people don't know. The money that he invested with these kids, the travel, the giving back, and the families that he's taking care of. I've been to the compound in Atlanta. I've dealt with him, you know what I mean? So shout out to that guy. Shout out to his whole organization. We're supposed to be cooking on some things. So y'all might hear first 3v3. So we got the one-on-ones that we created, but we working. We've been cooking for the past couple years. Cam, I said it now, Cam D. We got to make it happen now. We done
Hey,
been
man,
in
y'all
the-
got to make it happen. You heard my
Make
man.
it happen.
So
Make it
you're
happen.
going to bring your quarterback, bring
Yeah.
your receiver, bring your DB. That's your guys. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
I got the blueprint behind it. We
Yo.
all got the blueprint.
This gives like a and one
Man,
mixtape
come on.
for
Hey, man,
football.
say
like
that.
Phil, I
Say
love
that
it,
to
bro.
the people in the back, man.
I'm telling you, man. I love
Hey,
that.
Shout out my
work,
manager
man.
James Johnson over there. He knows exactly what we doing.
Yeah,
He knows
for
exactly
sure.
what I'm doing.
Shout out James.
Hey, and then for the fact that you just said it, that's what it is.
Yeah,
So
man.
when we got it going, and I just give you a quick backdrop on it. It originated as Flex Friday. Like I was doing this on the corner of Arizona, and everybody been doing one-on-ones for years.
sure.
I don't want to get that misconstrued. I don't want everybody thinking that coach thinks he started one-on-ones or Destroying thinks he started one-on-ones. We started this structure, we started this format, and it's derived out of something. So it's called Flex Fridays. Like I said, I'm a father, I'm a mentor. I train, I have a home gym. So I just, I want the boys not to be on the block. So at the end of the day, I made a gym at my house. So for years, guys would come and train with me out of my house, out of my gym. I have 2 big fields next to my house. We call them OTB fields. So they'll talk trash throughout the week, a lot of these guys that I just named. And then on Friday, we call it Flex Fridays. You're going to pull up to the spot. We're going to work out for an hour. And then on that back end of the hour, we're going to do our, one-on-ones, King of the Hill.
Show
So
out.
a lot of these winners that you've seen, Keely's been on the episodes, Rashi Hodge, these guys will just go out there and compete on Friday. So we'll do it every Friday, Flex Friday. And then when I end up meeting Destroying at a 7-on-7 tournament, he was covering. Everybody wants to know how we met. So he was at a 7-on-7 tournament. He was covering my team, OTB Elite. Shout out to the Pylon, Miss Erica Barron and everybody over there at Pylon. We was at a Pylon event. My team's playing. His cameraman at the time, shout out my dog David Rassick, got the camera on me. I said something. I turned to the camera. he was like, Coach, say that again. You know, I'm mid-coaching mode. I coach for real. So,
Right.
hey, man, this ain't scripted. If you don't get up out my face with that camera, and I turn and yell at the ref like, y'all just let anybody on the field with cameras and stuff. He over here holding. You can't even, you know, we losing at the time.
Yeah,
so I'm politicking trying to, you know, divert or whatever. So at that time, I noticed Dave turn to D and tell D, hey, I like this coach. You know what I mean? So I go to the sideline. My kids are like, Coach, you just cussed out destroying. I mean, y'all getting y'all little destroyed out here. I don't care about no destroying, you know. So they come up, D comes to our sideline. They like, Coach, D, we gonna win. We got backflips for you and everything. We end up coming back, beating Ground Zero. Yeah, I'll say the OTB Elite. Ground Zero. You know, you know the beef. Shout out to OTB Elite 707, one of the innovators of the 707 game. Not the new 707, the original 707. We'll talk about that later. Because I like what they doing, but it's kind of going left. Anyway, we beat Ground Zero. My kids go turn up with D. I end up seeing that episode and just clicking through YouTube. I'm like, oh, that's the kicker kid that, you know, bucked his scholarship or whatever, you know, did his thing. Oh, so he covered us. I end up seeing him again in Vegas, telling him, you know, I got wind of him being in Arizona. You in Arizona, you doing any type of work, you need to come see about me. I'm on the west side. Sure enough, after a championship game, he called us like that following Monday, like, Coach, you ready to work? You know, can you put a 7-on-7 tournament together? I was like, nah, I can't do no 7-on-7 tournament this fast, but you know, there's this thing I do called Flex Fridays. You know, I might be able to get some of my guys out, and I sent them a film of what we do. Like I said, I'm from the era where I ran from the cameras. So, you know, I've been filming since 2008, 2009, but putting it out there and doing these are just receipts, and this is just for, you know, my memoirs.
For sure.
Because I came from that era. We ain't shucking and jobbing for the cameras, and we don't want them on us like that. So, but I did have this Flex Friday. So I sent them a film of Keely and one of my kids, Jaleel Walker. Shout out to my baby Jaleel Walker, Western Kentucky wide receiver. They're going at it. So D was like, man, you think you could do that, OG? You think you could put that together? So that's when you look at the first PS5. He's like, I'll come out there and give a PS5 away, you know, some money and some shoes or whatever. So that's the first episode. You look at the first couple of them, everybody got the OTB gear on. It's invite only. So the first 2-3 episodes was invite only. So that's how we linked up, man. He's been a solid dude ever since. We built this platform. But when we were getting going, I told him to go back to your point about the N1 mixtape. I would keep saying it to him like, hey, man, this about to be the N1 mixtape of football. I'm telling y'all, man, we're going to go to city to city. And we going, and, you know, they kind of look at me like, half
like,
smile.
Yeah, that feel, man.
But you believed it.
But I believe it, but I understood. But they wasn't looking at me because they didn't believe it. Them boys was too young.
I got you. I
can't know what that mixtape.
So I came up messing with, shout out to Go Get It and all these guys, Tony and all them boys from the N1
era.
We was with that movement. You know what I mean? So me, shout out my dog, Ross 500. Me, D, Ross 500. We sat on the back of D's condo in Scottsdale, and we watched about 2 hours of the N1 mixtape tour. I'm like, yo, D, this is what we doing. This is what we.
Right.
So it's no coincidence that's the format that you're seeing.
Wow.
So the kids traveling from state to state and doing all that. But it's definitely, get guys opportunity. The money started off small, start off with a PS5, all that's, coming from D. He does his thing with that. We built it up to 1,500, then it was 2,000, then 5,000. But, introducing guys like Travis Hunter, Ross 500, Nico Imaliva, just so many different kids. Like I said, we've had, what's the quarterback? Eli Manning come out and throw.
Nice.
Just so many Kirk Bankart from the Packers. So a lot of these guys come out and just enjoy the event, man. So it's just doing, it's making history, and it's one of those things that hopefully it's changing somebody's life in the process, giving somebody hope.
I love it, man.
I think that's so dope, man, that athletes, no matter what level you played, how successful you were,
man, get off the couch.
And then they'll come out and be a part of this.
Yes, sir.
It gives the youth something to look forward to look up to. I mean, I want to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and it's just be able to give these kids a platform to showcase their talent in front of millions of people on YouTube. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
At the end of the day, is what you said, give these kids opportunity to showcase their platform. A lot of these boys don't even care that, they're not even really for the money.
Right.
Coach, I want to show you I could ball. Coach, I want to show you I could head top, I could strap. Coach, I'm a strap as well. So they just want their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
That's put your name on the map, put your state on the map, put your gang on your map. I'm not out here talking about put your colors on the map, blue and red. Put your gang, put your section on, put the boys you grind with every day. Yeah. Put your high school on, put your partners that you believe in each other. That's your gang, man. Put your family on the map. So, just an all positive spin. And, now if you like I said, I'm OTB is outside the box, but it's also off the block. You know, that's where I come from. So at the end of the day, take that same mentality you had with the hustle on the block, with the movement and being down for whatever, and put that into something positive, man. You know,
Yes,
no
sir.
excuses, just result. Think outside the box, anything can happen. So that's what this movement is, and I felt like I flew under the radar, JUCO kid. Like I said, I played arena ball, didn't have the big name behind me the whole nine. So I would have to try harder in workouts or when I be on the field with the NFL guys. Like I really
Stand
have to
out.
sit there and go 11, 12
Yeah.
reps. So I was the one-on-one guy. Like this format I do because I was that competitor, that dog.
Yeah.
Coach, we ain't going home to all 15 of y'all beat me. You know, you ain't going to beat me. You know, that's the mindset. So for you to be able to go through this competition and beat 15, 20 guys, I respect it because I know where that's coming from. And that's the same way that I train my athletes and the kids that I'm around. That's what makes them elite. That's what makes it's a mindset.
Wow.
You know what I mean? There's just no excuses, just results. So, you know, at the end of the day, there's a Coach OTB, there's a Jay Allen in every neighborhood. You know what I mean? So put your name on the map, put your state on your map. And if, you know, God provided opportunity for me and destroying to give a platform for that, that's my due diligence. That's what I'm here trying to do.
Let me get that arm loose, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Let me get that
Hey,
arm
listen,
loose,
we're going to
dog.
put this
You know
on
I'm
record
in there.
right now. If he come out there throwing dots and it look like something, I picked him. If boy come out here skipping rocks, throwing guys into the bleacher, he suggested him.
Hey, listen, I stand
y'all
on it
know
right
what
now.
time it
He gonna
is.
be out there dropping them.
Gonna be dropping
Dot
hey,
City.
hey,
I tell you
man,
that
listen,
right now.
Go ahead. We need it, man.
And if you don't,
man.
CC
We
sent
need
him.
it. Well, hey, shout out to CC, my dog on the ones and twos. Hey, it's one of those things. I tell them it's hard for quarterbacks, and they should get more credit for what they do on the one-on-ones because the time
Throwing blind, yeah.
you throwing blind.
You never
threw
thrown
with
to these
Yeah,
guys.
never threw with
Yeah.
these receivers, and half these guys is making these new routes, man. Shout out to all you trainers and all you YouTube trainers, but y'all got these boys playing basketball on the field, and you skipped your Malu and you hopping through. I said it. I said
Just
it.
hold on for a second. Just get a moment of silence. Let's everybody look at CC real quick. All right, that's cool. He ain't got to say too much. Thank you for that. It's
Yeah,
called
man.
confirmation.
Man, listen,
that's something
man.
I tell athletes all the time. Like, it ain't about what you see on YouTube and how good it look on film. When are you going to actually apply that? When you going to use it? Drop your hands
Man,
if you
talk
want to.
that
You're going to
talk.
be in the freaking dirt.
Talk that
Put them
talk,
hands
man.
up, man. I don't care how goofy it look.
Yeah,
be ready to
hands
fight.
down here, and
Yeah.
they line up. It's the Odell Beckham lineup. That's why that boy making his millions.
He making it.
He could do that. You know what I mean? And the cat across him already making his millions, so he ain't trying to press him and do all.
Come on,
listen,
man.
you got to go through high school. You got to God willing go through the collegiate aspect of it. Somebody gonna hit you in your.
Yeah.
My
Say
mama
less.
watch it, but
Put
somebody
your
gonna hit
jaw
you in
right in your hand.
For sure.
at the end of the day. But it's one of those things. Yeah, that's a lost art right now. Just teaching the
basics.
to take back my next point. So prior to these one-on-ones this year, we jumped out with the Coach OTB Elite Technique and Fundamental Skills Core, skills clinic, just for that, the basics, basics and techniques and fundamental. I could go out there and I could do all the loop-de-loop, cross my foot back over, jump, hop, skip. You know, I know all that cute stuff, right? 88 cones. But where is it going to transition that to the football game? Your alignment, your assignment, your attention to detail. Coach OTB, AAAs, I preach it every day for life, and I preach it every day on the football field. What's your alignment? For my football guys out there, am I inside, am I outside? Am I on the ball, am I off the ball? Am I on the numbers, outside the numbers? You know, that's my alignment. That's the first part of my AAAs. Then it's my assignment. What's my play? Do I got cover 2, cover 3? I'm a man. Is it quarters? Do I got to dig? Do I got to post? Am I just blocking? All right, boom, that's my assignment. My last AAA. You run around here saying it all day when we set up, ATD. I knew exactly when you said it. Attention to detail. That's my last AAA, right? Who's on my side of the ball today? Switch formations. What's the down and the distance? How many times left on the clock, right? So my AAAs, if I apply that to the game, right, I should never be wrong. Same thing, you apply my AAAs in life as well.
Absolutely.
I got to wake up and align myself
Yep.
with the day. What I got to do today. You know what I mean? Just go to school, go to work. So that's my first A, the transition from the game, sport to life, right, is the alignment. Aligning myself for the day, aligning myself for the world. Then 2, what's my assignment? Go to school, go to work, do my chores, go to football. You know, that's my assignment for the day in life. Then my attention to detail. Attention to detail is just, it's everyday life, man. The world don't want you to win. And then I woke up this color this morning. It looked like y'all did too. So automatically, that's the attention to details. It's going to be harder for me when I leave this door. The world don't want me to win. So I say everything that I teach in football, and I love football, and God understands it saved my life, but it's just a catalyst, right? It's just a conduit, a stepping stool for the message and for life. So the integrity, the discipline, the character, the humility, the love, you know, the camaraderie that the game taught me. That's what I teach these kids, and I want you to take that part of the football game and apply that to everything in life, and you're gonna be okay. Think outside the box mentality. So that's what it is in a nutshell. That's my message. We see the hooting and hollering. You see Coach OTB out there turning up with my co-host, but it's deeper than that. So when you see this platform, it's to touch somebody. It's to give somebody hope. It's to get to the next Coach J. The next, hey, man, if I could do it, I'm really one of them. If I could do it, because don't nobody even understand it yet. I pray for it. You know, I believe in a higher power, so I understand what I'm doing. I understand where I'm at, but I got to understand the assignment as well. So that's what this is about. So a lot of you guys pouring into these young men, money grabbing, taking their money just to
Talk
train
to
them
them.
and do all that. That ain't what it's about, man. You check my resume. I trained for years in my garage. I invested, me and my wife, shout out to my wife, years we investing in these kids out of our pockets, Airbnbs, traveling from coast to coast. I'm a traveler for real, because it's about the purpose, right?
Yep.
Never to get nothing back. So a kid to say Coach OTB charged me or did this to me or that, you'll never hear that, because it was always about the message. And if you came to me, I felt that God brought you to me for a reason, and it was my due diligence to service you. So that's what all this is built for. God connected me with Destroying to be able to put it on a platform. We on this platform going crazy. Like you said, it's the N1 mixtape of football, baby. We here now.
Bars.
I love that, man. I get chills just, when
guy.
you talk about that. You said something earlier. You said there's a Jason Allen in every city.
Yeah.
When he's speaking, bro, you just happen to run into the Jason Allen of the city.
Come on.
Go.
You said, that's me.
I believe it. I understand.
That's how I am.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's how DC is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when you saying it, I'm just like, dang, that's that. And I'm glad that
And
one of
I'm
my
not hit
athletes
by
that I train.
coincidence, so I know everything is ordained. I'm
Come
out
on, man.
ordained. I'm out there today. Just we watching the scrimmage, and I'm just being in my element. It's football, and you know, he like, hey man, you wouldn't happen to be, oh man, I got a podcast with you. You coming on my show? Oh yeah. So I think everything happened for a reason. You know, I walked in, I told my manager, because I come from that era, I got to feel it. You know what I mean? They got to feel right, and then, oh man, I like what these brothers got going on.
sure,
So you
man.
know, at the
Appreciate
end of the
that,
day,
man.
that's just one of them things to where it happens for a reason. I've been through a lot, seen a lot, been around a lot. So I'm not trying to align myself that first A again. I'm not trying to align myself with people that don't have that same like mind.
Come on.
That same mentality. Ain't preaching the same message, because at the end of the day, it ain't about me. It ain't about what I did. It ain't about, it's about what I can help do with resource-wise.
For sure.
And it's about how I can service you. So that's what this purpose is about. That's what this is this mission is about. And then also just being in tune with the community, giving back. So what my manager makes sure I do when I pull up in City, I know we had an episode in Pittsburgh, but I've done it so many times. I did it last time I was out here in Ohio. I want to go to the outreach programs. I want to go to the Boys and Girls Clubs. I want to go to the group homes. I want to go to the at-risk youth. I want to go to where it's hard at for the people that could resonate with me a little bit more, because I look like them, but and I'm giving them the same message. I know when we was in school, no knock, but the guy, the suit and tie, didn't have my same pigment, came in telling me not to do this and not to do that. One ear and out the other. I can't wait till this bell ring.
Yeah.
Right. But if you came in there, homie, looking like me, and you got a couple of tattoos, and you speaking my language, and your hair's locked up like me, and you telling me it's okay to do this,
Yeah.
well, it might be okay to do what he's saying. You know what I
man.
mean? So we need a lot more of that out there, and that's just who I'm trying to be. I'm with all that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I understand that very well. But check this out, man. Love you, neighbor. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Bring you know,
Absolutely.
help somebody else out. Pass a message, and just don't mess up the time and opportunity that you got, because you ain't gonna have it long, especially in this football game. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Bro, big
Us as
time.
ex-football players, we out here just living in the past and probably still showing the highlights. I'm
Yeah,
highlights on
from time-
VHS.
yeah. All day long, dude. Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? So if I could find a VHS, if y'all got a highlight of the coach, man, let me have it. But I come from that era, man. But definitely, man, what y'all brothers are doing, it's a blessed thing. Give them more
Appreciate that.
platforms for guys like me to be able to come give them a message. So,
For sure.
Bro,
appreciate it.
for the longest, there was a little void that I had a trouble filling, and I didn't know what it was. I moved back to Columbus 2 years ago and regained everything that I had when my dog trained, and we started working together. And I figured it out. And I figured it out, got to drawing things up, starting thinking about what it is. It's this.
Yeah.
It's this. I always wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than me.
Yep.
Found it. Found it. So hearing you talk the way you're talking, pouring out to the youth and giving a game that you always have, that developed over time, to pour into the young ones to watch them come up. That's what it's all about, man.
It's about the message. It's
yeah,
about
it's the
what y'all
message,
doing. It's the
for sure.
platform. And I didn't, man, listen, I ain't know I was supposed to do this. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be playing in the NFL. I'm supposed to be going crazy right now. And I'm supposed to live that lifestyle, or the other aspect of it coming up to where I came up, I was supposed to be a retired D-boy. I wasn't supposed to be doing what I was supposed to be doing. But when I switched over to what I was doing, you'll see it easy. This is what you're supposed to be doing. It's like you had that revelation.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Big time.
And it takes a certain type of people. You know, that's one of my prayers that I've always prayed. God, let me be a light. You know, let your light shine in me, that everybody else may see the light in me and know that I'm
Be a vessel.
there is a
Be a
God.
vessel.
Yeah, you know
Yes,
what
sir.
I mean? Allow me to touch more people than it is grains of sands, you know, on the season. Boom, we going viral. You know what I mean? 20 million views, 10 million views. So I understand the assignment, but now it's just, you know, when we have these platforms, speak about just that. You know what I mean? Not make it about self. You brothers asked me beforehand, you know, what we want to talk about. Less as me as possible. You know, what I'm doing in the next man as much as possible. So that's pretty much what it's
two
about.
things, you know. We asked you that question because I think one of our first episode, I spoke about being a servant.
Yep.
You know, and so when you come here, it's like, hey, how can we help you? I don't. Whatever comes from this is going to be God given.
It's gonna come.
right?
For sure.
And so I'm like, hey, how can we help you? What do you want to talk about? And you're like, man, just whatever. I said, okay, cool. It's going to be organic. But another thing you said, you spoke about, it felt right, and it's the timing of everything, right? You didn't know you were supposed to do this.
Not at all.
I was just having a conversation the other day with somebody. Like, man, I need to get back on the podcast. You know, we had started off, we was cooking. We did the spring game tour. Life happened in good ways, all positive things, and we kind of just fell back. And to get a text from your manager 30 minutes before I go into work,
Wow.
and it's like, hey, man, we need to put something together. Long story short, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll make it happen. I get off at this
You
time.
told me.
And here we go.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
I still slept 1 hour since I got off, bro.
Oh, there you go,
So-
man. See, hey,
But it's that
he
confirmation.
doing this for y'all. You know what I mean? Gratitude for you doing it for me,
Yeah,
opening up your doors. He doing this for y'all, man. So make
For
sure
sure,
you like,
man.
subscribe, share. It's a message behind all this. Make sure you
Yeah.
like, subscribe, Coach OTB YouTube as well.
Yeah, we're going to get all that connected.
We got
IG,
For sure.
Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
drop that again. I thought we went to pop, pop. Hit the But nah, at the end of the day, that's just really what it's about.
Yeah.
So shout out to my cousin. So you know how they made.
We gonna hold off on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nothing wrong with it, but
Yeah.
you know,
okay.
you
So
know,
at the end of the day, that's why I
Yeah.
reached out. You know what I mean, and made the play happen how it did.
for sure.
So
Shout out to
definitely
cousin
organic.
for sure though.
Shout out to
sure.
cousin. Much love. Much love.
I don't know if DC you want to say something. I do want to say one
Yeah,
one
go
thing.
ahead,
I want to
man.
ask you about your coaching style. All right. So
Okay.
before you answer that question,
Sir,
I got a quote. Have a seat, you big dummy.
man.
You just lined up 3 series in a row, outside backer, and you the inside backer. You got to have some type of awareness, son, to understand that I ain't line right. Something don't look right. Do you understand that? That's from missing practice. That's from not being here when I needed you. So in game time, you don't blow that. Go have a seat and get coached up on.
Man, you tell me about my coaching style after hearing that.
Boy, I was with you. I was, God,
Out of the seat.
And what he didn't put in there was a brief pause. My baby, shout out to my baby Florida, right? Lucky Destin, that's his name. Yes, sir. You know,
Yeah.
It was a simple response.
It
Yes,
was.
sir. Now you big dummy. I come from that era, but them is my babies. You know what I
sure.
mean? These are the same kids that I load up in my vehicle and we drive thousands of miles so I could take you to your first camp, take you to your first, you know what I mean, whatever tour or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. So when I'm talking to you and I'm calling you a big dummy, that's like you being in the back of my SUV. Come on, you big dummy. What did you think? You know what I mean?
Right.
So at that time, yeah, you big dummy. You lined up at outside linebacker and you're the inside backer. You got to have some type of awareness. So when I'm telling them, because you know you get your comment, guys, and I'm trying my best not to comment. First and foremost, I wouldn't call the kid a dummy if I couldn't call him a dummy. Right.
Right.
2, I'd have been called worse by better people. So, you know what I mean? 3, the mama ain't had no issue with it.
Right.
He didn't have no issue with it, so get off of that.
Right.
And then that's just football, right? You big dummy. I could have cussed the boy. I could have did all that. You didn't see that.
Right.
So at the end of the day, your awareness. You're the inside linebacker. You've lined up outside backer every play for the last 3 plays. Well, coach, why you let him line up about it? I mean, like that. No, we didn't. You're getting corrected. Your teammates are telling you to bump in. You have, and you keep going out there doing it. You have to have some type of awareness
Son.
that I'm not aligned right. Your first alignment, right? I'm not aligned
on.
right. Something don't look right here. I'm the inside backer. Why are guys outside of me? Why are guys inside of me if I'm the inside? So you got to have some type of awareness. But go have a seat. Get coached up on it.
Yeah.
This is from not being at practice when I needed you, right? This is from whatever you were doing because this is where it matters at. The game time situation, when the bullets are flying, go get coached up on it. I'm gonna put you back in the game. And if everybody's like, well, coach, he missed practice, why is he playing? Well, that was the second half.
Right.
He didn't play the whole first half.
true.
You know what I mean? So that's the insides of it. But my coaching style, to go back to reiterate what you said, good old-fashioned hard-nosed coach. I'm the coach that I needed for me.
Yep.
Right? So I was the fast kid, and shout out to you because I'm a running back by blood. Listen, Train, if they tell me right now that I could go to the NFL and they're going to give me 4 plays, I'm going to say, sign me up for running back.
Word.
I'm a running back from blood.
Straight up.
I mean,
Y'all out.
man,
Shout out to the running backs.
Gail Sayers, Emmitt Smith, those are guys that I just, love watching. Eric Dorsett, just did, Dickerson, guys just like that, Tony Dorsett. But anyhow, we'll go back to my point.
Coaching style.
Yeah, coaching style.
Yep.
So my coaching style is pretty much being the guy that I wanted to coach me. Everybody used to just tell me how fast I was, how good I was, how, so when I really got around the fast guys and the good guys, junior college, collegiate, all that type of stuff and pros, is like, hold on, he's just as fast. Then I really wasn't as fast. I really wasn't as good. I really wasn't. So it's kind of like, well, you hindered me in areas from me thinking that. My attitude wasn't right. So my coaching style is just, I seen you handle it with one of your pupils that you're dealing with right now. Just being blunt, just being truthful with them, being honest, and telling them what they need to hear at that particular moment. That's not going to fly. That's not okay. No, be accountable. No, own up in this area or go harder. That's whatever the case may be. Because now if they're working based on knowing that information, it looks different. And even shout out to Deion Sanders, my mentor, guy that I grew up just watching, adoring his playing style and just patting my game after. Put everything into my son after Deion. Whatever Deion said was law. So when I'm coaching my son and training my son, it was law to him as well.
For sure.
By the grace of God, through everything that I'm doing right now, was able to get, mentored by Deion, still stay in contact with Deion, him, Darryl Green, some of the vets. I named my kid after Aeneas Williams, so I like DBs, and my other kid, Ty, after Ty Law. So, I come from that type of area.
Shout y'all.
So I was down there at Deion, at Jackson State, and we was having a conversation. And I asked him, I said, yo, I come from Phoenix, and a lot of these parents think I'm hard on the kids. A lot of them think I'm real disciplinary type coach. He was like, look where you at. He's like, it got you here with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, where are these people that saying that at? You know what I mean? Where are they at?
Right.
And he was like, to be honest, I don't think you hard enough. He was like, the old school principles still work. He was like, the hard nose. He said, the old school principles still work. He said, I don't think you hard enough. He said, you could be harder. He said, but if it ain't broke, don't break it. You know what I mean? If don't change anything from the way that we came up, the way that we was taught the game. And that's just always been my style. I come from that. My pops was military, but he wasn't necessarily a hard military guy, but it was still structured. You know what I mean? In the home. As far as that, we came up with the grandmas, we came up with the aunties. Everybody in the neighborhood could whoop you. You had to go outside and fight. I come from that era.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I coach. I love you. You my son. I'm a father first. Yep. Then I'm a mentor. Then I'm a coach. But I'm also your homie. I'm your big brother. I'm your uncle. I'm all that to you. So when Deion told me that, then I turned around and watched that boy run them 13 flights of steps, man, about 50 times. Oh, yeah, I ain't hard enough. Went back and ran the mess out of my kids' heads. So I think I'm a hard-nosed, disciplinary coach, but at the same time, I love hard on my boys. You know what I mean? Like, them is my babies. Them is my sons. Yeah, definitely. They can get anything they want from me. So we keep good relationships.
We talk. Sorry, DC. If
No,
you
you good. No, go ahead.
We talked about something earlier. We talked about this generation of athletes.
Yeah.
They're a little soft.
Definitely.
Charmin,
So,
do you find it a challenge to be who you are and change up for them? Or do you continue to be the same coach that you are and say, forget the kid, he got to toughen up?
That's a great question, man, because there's a lot of prima donnas out there. And I'm not taking nothing from nobody, but it's a lot of prima donnas out there, especially when they get these stars behind them. I deal with the 4 stars, the 5 stars, the 3 stars. They're entitled. Even my own kids, my own biological kids, they're just entitled nowadays. You know what I mean? And it's our fault because we raise these kids to the aspect of, well, I don't want them to have it as tough as I had, and I don't want them to have more than I have, so we kind of coddle them in areas, and I'm guilty of it as well. But, yeah, you get a lot of entitlement from these kids, and it's hard, but at the same time, I don't never really flinch or let nobody see me sweat. So even if they giving me a hard, I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to coach the way that I need to coach because I get the results.
Right.
So this style and this method of me coaching gets the results. But, yeah, you get the guys that are making money or you get the guys that are, I coach the national team. Shout out to all my babies. Shout out to Deuce Knight. Oh, man. Shout out to, I don't know.
Don't miss nobody because you know they're going to be on your
Jonah
head.
Williams. I love you, Jonah Williams. #1 safety in the nation. It's so many of these kids, man. But I coach team pressure. We're part of the OT7 circuit. So we had all the top 5-star kids in the nation. You know what I mean? And every game that we play, shout out to my baby Kyron Berry, too, out of Chicago, one-hand catch phenom. Josiah Abdullah. Now they just coming to me as I'm thinking about them.
Right.
But anyway, we had the best team in the nation on paper. We can't win the game to save our life because it's a lot of me. Shout out to Justin Denson, Michigan State, up out of Rhode Island. Yeah, they play football in Rhode Island too. My baby Justin out there. But anyway, it's a lot of me guys. And then on defense, you get all these 5-star, 4-star boys don't want to play man. Everybody want to play cover 4. Everybody want to, you know what I mean? So you get a lot of that, and then don't yell at me, coach, and they flying in for the weekend, and then we done flew them in. We done took care of everything. So you get a lot of that entitlement, a lot of that privilege. But not everybody's like that. Like the ones that I named, the Deuce Knights, Josiah's, Kyans, and Jonah Williams, those guys are bought in. Shout out to my baby C4 as well. Zach Samples over at Arizona State now. Those guys were bought in. You still have some good kids out of there.
I'm gonna have to look some of these guys up.
I
don't stay on it too much, but
yeah. So the ones I'm naming, they're either them now or they're gonna be them. You know what I mean? And they do all right. So we got them. They're all across the globe, and I still train a lot of these guys. Shout out to Keytrell Clark with the Cardinals. Man, shout out to his other DB coach, his main guy, Coach Eddie, up out of Virginia. Devon Wilson, that's my baby Newt, up and coming, number 27 for the Cardinals. It's just so many different kids out there that I try to get my hands on and train and, just be a factor in their life.
20 years in the game.
20 years in the game, man, and just really being active on them. Like I said, it started in my garage. I'm a park coach. Shout out to my park trainers.
Gotcha.
I'm park coaches. You know what I mean? I was the coach that was on the corner of the park. I'm going to make sure I have a team. I'm going to make sure I'm training. I'm going to make sure we get to that tournament. I'm going to make sure it happens because, I'm doing it. Y'all want to do it, this is what we doing. So just have so many kids over the year, and they don't always go the way they need it to go. I got kids that's doing bids. You know what I mean? It's so hard. Same way I go to these kids, commitment. I got to go to some of these kids' court dates and watch them do, get sentenced to life. And, that's near and dear to my heart as well. It's tough. You done slept on my couch. My wife cooked for you for years. You love, our cooking or whatever the case may be. And we stand in the Airbnbs, and you need me to write a letter for what? You shot how many people? And he was just going to the NFL the other day. So, I really deal with life. I really deal with, that part of the game.
Yeah.
And, if I feel like if I could touch one of these kids, get to one of these kids and, look at me. I come from that, and you don't have to do that. So at the end of the day, that's what this is really about.
Oh, man.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir.
You motivate me, to be better.
No, y'all
I'm already self-motivated, but
Right.
whenever I can personally have somebody that I can listen to talking, I'm like, all right, I got to step it up. Or it's like, yeah, I like that, as a competitor by nature.
It's nature.
You know what I mean?
Where
by
you're a
nature.
man.
Exactly.
It's still men in the world.
So it's like, yeah, absolutely. That's not, yeah. But anyways,
That's a whole
it's
nother-
like, it's like,
Yeah,
let me bring it up. You know what I mean? Let me step it up a little bit. So, and we're gonna rap more off camera about some stuff just from hearing you talk. But
definitely.
my man got it. You got it rolling, man. And
we
I'm
love it.
glad you can be here.
No, I appreciate the hospitality, man. Opening
Man,
the
it's
door
been
to
awesome.
me, man. It's awesome, definitely. Like
This
I
ain't
said,
gonna be the last time.
it's not gonna be the last
Yeah.
time. Maybe I get some of these guys that I groomed over the years. Y'all come give them their platform.
Yeah.
Sure.
We
Yeah,
love
y'all
it.
got to get Denzel Burke. He's out here, man. Shout out to Denzel. Shout out to Des
Come on,
Zavarro.
D. We got
The
you.
corner over there at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
He probably a first round draft pick off time. Probably one of the
What
top-
number? Number 10?
Number 10.
10, yeah.
You already know.
Yeah.
Sororo,
You know
yeah.
what time it
Arizona.
is. Ah.
Hey, he was born in Youngstown,
throw
though.
that in there.
No,
Yeah.
what you know about Youngstown, Ohio?
No, I know it's football out there.
Oh,
and I
okay.
know it's
I
football
believe
out
that.
there.
Wow.
Nah, I know about
Ursula, stand up, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
There
All
we go.
about the you.
There we go.
We
man.
got we got
Shout
some
out
dogs.
to
A
you.
quick little story about Ursula, man.
Yep.
We got some dogs out there.
We do.
But
Okay.
and I think this was the same when we were growing up. We were Division 4, but we played a D2,
D1,
D1 schedule.
D1 schedule.
Because of our area, people didn't really want to play us. Oh, you guys recruit this and that. So we would play against these teams, and we'd have decent stats, nothing too crazy. So to get recruited out of there is like they just got average stats, but you don't realize who we playing against.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For example, Warren G. Harding.
Okay.
They had Boom Hair, and they had Mario Manningham, they had Richard Davis.
Maurice Claret.
Maurice Claret.
yeah.
They had a bunch of people, and we competing with them at a lower level, and we may even beat them. Like my senior year, we beat
y'all
them. They
did.
had all them dudes, and we beat them. But to be recruited out of a school like that, when teams just looking, it's just like, oh yeah, they got average stats.
Yeah.
They some dogs, and they go to college, and you're like, why the hell we ever recruit this dude?
These guys.
Or they go to D2, and they're like, why? You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I mean? So. That's why I always, any chance I get, man, I shout out Ursula.
Yeah, shout
All the
out.
time.
You got to shout out your small towns, and that was the whole thing about West Virginia. Even coming up in Phoenix, when we say you from West Virginia, it's black people in West Virginia, like,
Right.
don't they just sleep with their cousins and their
All that.
sisters? And
Yeah,
you get all that
all the
stick
time.
talk, right?
As soon as you hear that.
When your
So
cousin
you-
told me she was from, I'm like, ain't no way. She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess you really are.
Yeah, no, definitely from West Virginia. So it's one of those things that they play football, man. Shout out to Randy Moss, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We're talking football.
My
you
guy.
can't say West Virginia or football without Randy Moss. Shout out to Nitro,
Sometimes
Dunbar, Rand County, all that.
Yeah.
Charleston, South Charleston. But yeah, so at the end of the day, you doing right by that. You got to shout out where you from. You got to shout out the ones that fly under the radar. Put your name on the map. Put your state on the map. Put your school on the map.
Yep.
So you see how prevalent that is, though.
Absolutely.
It
So
is.
it just sounds like an
Day to day.
introduction,
But it's
but
real.
I'm speaking life over
It's
you.
real.
Yeah.
I'm speaking life over the situation. Like, this is your time to shine. Because I know if it was me and it was Lil J Allen or little Coach OTB and that, I'm licking my chops. And I hear this man, I was one of them.
Yeah.
You coach say run through that wall, and you trusted me to run through that wall. I'm gonna run through that wall. Same way if I was on the block, you wanted me to go, knock his head off. I'm gonna go knock his head because that's what
Right.
we doing.
Yeah.
So I was always a team player. So at the end of the day, that's the energy that I try to project into the crowd. The what's up, fellas? One time the crowd goes quiet. You know what I mean? And everybody's waiting for the uproar to what's up, fellas. And everybody like that's hard, but that was always an energy check. A little bit of history on that. Shout out to my guy KJ Kirk Johnson up out of the Bay Area. So that was how we would introduce, just greet each other at practice when we used to coach for the Saints. And my dog Bobby Wade, what's up, coach? What's up, fellas? What's up, coach? What's up? Nah, man. What kind of energy? Y'all ain't ready to practice today? Man, I said, what's up, what's up, fellas?
Right.
What's up, coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We going back 15, 20 years with that.
Yeah.
The body bag break. I'm in the huddle. I'm finna body bag everything moving and zip them up, let they sideline sort them out. So you just hearing me break a huddle. and
Running back by design, running back by heart, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
do you play more defense than?
So and that happened in JUCO. It was just one of those things,
Okay.
I switched over. There was limited numbers on JUCO, and as for the defensive back spot, I had to come in and run, learn a playbook quick. They had a thoroughbred stud. I've always had the bow legs, the chicken legs, like Charlie
Bow
White
legs.
shoes. You know what I mean? I had the
Yeah.
bow legs. I was a crazy leg. They called me Jay Crazy Legs Allen. You didn't know how to tackle me. The bow legs is coming all kind of ways, and I ain't getting tackled on the first run. And I had, blazing speed. My son played safety like that. I had to critique his form over the years. But anyway, so the defensive side, it was one of those things. I was doing a camp down at U of A. This is when I was in JUCO. I was out there working out my dog Bobby, them, Lance Briggs. Everybody went to U of A. So I'm in JUCO, but I'm down there working with these guys, and I was playing receiver at the time. So I already transitioned from running back. Now I'm playing receiver. But as a receiver, this is why they ended up moving me to DB because coach was like, I love your energy, but I don't need a receiver at the line snotting and foaming at the mouth. You know what I mean? I was always aggressive. I'll be in the backfield. I'm ready to turn up. You know what I mean? So he's like, you might want to try safety or DB. So this is how I got over there. Shout out to my dog, Michael Jones there from Texas, former U of A guy. I'm lined up on the line. He jammed me. He smacked me in my I mean, he must have lifted me and, embarrassed me. We doing 7 on
Got you out of
7s.
there.
Got me out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm a competitor, like you said. I could do that too, nigga. Hold on, what you?
Yeah, straight
So
up.
I went straight to the defensive side of the ball, and did it to my dog Valentine up out of Houston. But he was for U of A. I was down at Phoenix College, junior college at the time. So after Joe Levette jammed me like that, I came back on it, jammed him up, and it just clicked. You know what I mean? So when I went back, me and my right-hand man, we were the two best receivers at the same time, but we were also the two most athletic guys. My guy, David Selasco from Buffalo, his right-hand man as well. He had came for playing quarterback. They didn't want to play quarterback there. He turned it to the number 1 receiver. I was a number 2 receiver, but we were just still athletic. So they was like, hey, man, you boys can both go to defense and start right now. So it's kind of one of those conversations, before we go into the bungalow, exiting spring ball meeting, what you going to do?
Yeah.
Go over there and take this defense. So at that point in time, me and my right hand, Zesco, the other half OTB, we trained ourselves how to play DB, and I ain't have no Coach J. Shout out to my dog Bug, Larry Jones. Played for the Arizona Rattlers for a year. I met him in the gym, and he kind of like took me under his wing, helped me get into the arena game. But other than that, I taught myself how to backpedal, ran drills all day long. So everything that you see me doing, the DB, the specialty, that came over years of just putting it into myself and then putting it into my homeboys and then my kids and the kids in the area. So it's really a craft. It's really
So what's the body bag whole thing,
The body bag, man, kill everything moving, zip them up, man.
But
Let
you
that
was a
sound
hitter?
uncertain. I was that. I
Was
was
you?
You was a hitter. What was it? What was your size?
My size, so my playing size, my good playing weight, I'll be at 185, 187.
Oh, okay.
But I was a light corner, so light safety. So I could fluctuate between 178 to 192. Anytime I got
Missile.
anytime I got to like 197, hamstring pop.
Yeah.
Pull growing.
So you downhill with it, though.
Yeah, no, I was downhill, but I'm a ball hawk. So if you ever see my son, you want to get some good highlights and have fun, watch my son Tavian Allen up out of Arizona, his high school highlights and his JUCO highlights, just fly around the field. So I was one of them.
Gotcha.
I was a ball hawk. When I say ball hawk, I don't care if it's a run play, I don't care if it's a pass. If I'm at safety, I want to be where that ball's at. Even if I was at corner, if the ball's on the right side of the field, I'm on the left field corner, I'm trying to be by the ball. So, and that's one of the things. I was a 50-fitter hitter a long time because I'm coming in trying to clean it up right now. I'm going to bounce off you or I'm going to knock you out. It's either or. Over the years, I became a short tackler. One of them, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to make sure I get the tackle. So, I was an athlete, man. So the one-on-ones, it was dear to my heart. I was the man corner. I don't care what y'all doing over there, coach. Lock me up. And then when we was at free safety, safety was my natural position. But, I challenged myself by going down the corner. I wanted the more competitiveness. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, coach.
Yeah.
How you hitting him if he run an ISO and get
So
to
I'm
the
gonna
third
be honest.
level?
Everybody like, I'm gonna chop him down. He big. I'm gonna come at your face, and that's what I mean. Hey, listen. I just said what it is. I didn't. Hey, I didn't flinch. I didn't stutter. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's the mindset.
That's the
Now,
mindset.
did I say that I'm gonna knock him out?
Yeah.
No, but I'm gonna try to put my face mask through his face.
Yeah.
Listen.
I didn't. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know if y'all know Brian Bonsworth. I don't know if y'all know Bo Jackson. But I seen that boy get kneed and get knocked out by I have a phobia of missile tackle. I was never that DB that's gonna come cut you because if you can hop over me, I've been jumped over. That's the worst feeling, and you can hit me with that knee and knock me out. So I'd rather take my chances at running at your face. And guess what? Speed equals velocity equals power.
Come on.
I was fast.
Yeah.
What you run your 40 in?
Yeah, me 4.36, 4.37. Shout out to Coach
rolling.
Mo up out of Arizona.
rolling.
Rest in
is
peace,
moving.
Coach Jones. When I got to junior college, I was running a 4.42, 4.44. Wake up. House shoes on. I was a straight hood baby. We run for the police and hop fences and do all that. So I thought running with your head back, bow-legged, crossing.
That was it.
Thought it was fast. So I got with Coach Jones up out of New York. He was at Phoenix College, my track coach. Hey man, you ain't as fast as you think you need. Man, coach, you just see me run that 4.14, me a 4.41, but no, your form, your technique, So he actually he told me I should be running 4.34s. He got me down to a 4.36 or a 4.38 that particular season. So I was a fast guy, but I was also light too.
I just
what
love
I mean?
that
So,
response.
Nah,
I love that response.
listen,
The second they see somebody like that, they automatically say,
they gonna chop them down.
That's
And
what
guess what I'm gonna tell my kids? I'm gonna tell them to
I
chop
love
them
that
down
response.
and gang tackle you because that's smart. Me on the field, safety, and you done broke that. What is it?
What type of back you think I am?
I think you're a looser back. I think you got twinkle toes, believe it or not. I think you might be nimble. So you might get going downhill, but I think you got a nice side step to you, just built off your frame because you top heavy, but at the same time, you got an agility look to you. So I would think you'd be nimble through the whole bounce, could cut back. But at the end of the day, if you need to lean on somebody, you lean. I don't think he was always a big back. So I think he might have grew into that over the years as well. So I think
It's actually the opposite.
I'm about to say that dude's been big for as long as I
I
know.
wouldn't say power. I'm balanced, but it was actually the opposite. I didn't
want to hit somebody.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
he wanted that contact.
That's why when you said you in my
He
face, I
looked
looked
for it, bro.
I'm like, oh shit, hold on.
So
He
me and
looked
you
See
would
these
create
lines around here, bro?
beef. Yeah, we create a beef.
I'm a freaking lion, bro.
Yeah, we
No,
would
don't
create
get
a
it.
beef.
All right, let me
We would
chill.
create a beef. You know
There
what I
it
mean?
is.
Because
There it
that's-
is.
So if
I
that was
just
your
started
mindset,
on the show. I love it.
I love it. Because if
No,
that was
no
your
doubt.
mindset, and then we playing against each other, coach, I know he's trying to smack me. They're going to keep running the ball because he can't run the safety up. And then I'm going to try to match your energy.
Yeah.
I was one of them. It's 50-50.
I love that, man.
It's 50-50. But after a while, I got older and I got smarter. I just want to get the tackle.
Likewise,
There it go.
likewise.
Yeah, I just want to get the
Yeah,
tackle.
for
As a
sure.
running
For sure.
back, you want to just get the yardage, get smart about yourself. But yeah, early on, man, we wasn't ducking no smoke.
No,
Nah.
heck no.
Like this is the same thing being on the block fighting.
Right.
Everybody ducking him. I'm gonna fight him because everybody,
God.
whatever happened, I'm gonna run the fade.
Real
Man.
talk.
And then you get older, you get smarter, and people want to shoot people. You're like, you know what? It ain't worth
ain't
fighting. I'm
even-
gonna walk
None
away,
of
bro.
that. I'm
James,
going
to tell you
home.
my
I'm
favorite
going home.
line. That's why I tell you, that's a good point because we have to mention this, man. Out of all the Coach OTB, the destroying one-on-ones, any of our events, we've never had any violence. You got little scruffles here and there. It might be some inner pocket stuff going on, but as far as the event as a whole, we got grandmas out there, we got pawpaws, nanas, uncles, babies. You better not come up out there with that nonsense.
Come in peace.
We come in peace. We leave in peace. We say that on purpose. We come in peace. We come with love. We're trying to give something back to your community, your neighborhood. So we don't do the violence. We don't do none of that, and it's just strictly because of that. It's a love type of atmosphere.
You heard it. You heard
But
it.
yeah, come
You
out
heard
there
the
and
man.
compete. Come out there and talk your talk.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't play this game. You can't line up between those lines without having that warrior mentality.
For sure.
So I'm gonna go at your face. I'm gonna knock your head off. He beat you. Get up. Talk your talk. But shake his hand, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what
All
I mean?
love.
And it's all love at the end of the day. And I was one of them. I'll bark at you and you be ready to knock me out. But after the game, I'm the main one in your face, man.
Yep.
giving you
That
your
was
kudos.
correct,
Giving
for
you
sure.
man,
Yeah,
good rec,
I
man,
respect
all
your
day
hustle.
long.
I respect your game
So,
for sure.
and that's a lost art too in this game. All that to revisit what we were saying about the 7-on-7 out the Harper and all that standing up and tapping guys on your head and doing that. Nah, man, that ain't. Do the backflips,
Yeah.
do the celebration, do what you can do in
Celebrate
high
with your
school.
teammates.
Yeah.
Celebrate with your teammate, but all that
Yeah.
disrespecting me and all that touching me.
I don't get
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
that's
be
wild.
mad if my player knocked you out because you touched his physical space. I'm gonna be honest. I come from that, so
Yeah.
you brought that on yourself. Keep
For sure.
Keep your hands to your. Hey, keep your hands to yourself, young man. You know
Yes,
what
sir.
I mean? It's there's no room for the game for that. Celebrate with your teammates.
Yep.
Act like you've been there before. Do a backflip. Throw the ball in there. I don't really too much care about shooting up the ball and all that stuff. It's kind of distasteful, but at the end of the day, have fun.
Have fun.
I'm with the 7-on-7, having fun, turning up, the crazy uniforms. We started a lot of that, man. So do your research on OTB Elite. Like when I came in the game, I always had 2-3 uniforms. It was baby blues and it was bright colors, and then we were loud, and we had the social injustice uniforms. We was doing the backflips. We was,
Yeah.
Man, who is these kids? Then we
Turn.
coming from Arizona, southwest side of Arizona. Who's these? But we with the Californians, we with the Floridas. I mean, shout out to Florida Fires, one of my main rivals back in the day. Like, we getting active with these boys. So at the end of the day, it was just one of those scenarios to where have fun, turn up, man. But just, do it in good taste. So come out here, turn up with the one-on-ones, compete, put your name on the map, man.
Put your name on the map. I got. We can wrap this up unless you got something else.
No, that's it.
We all train athletes here. Yeah. DC, I'm gonna ask you first. What separates you from other trainers out there?
I mean, my passion that I pour into these youngsters, I'm kind of like with him. I like to work with the raw, the green, the ones that want to get there, but I can get them there. And I'm hands-on, and not only that, I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you.
Yep.
Everything that I put you through, I've done myself, and can still do, and I don't toot my own horn or anything like that, but if I have to show you this until you emulate it, I'll do just that because that's where I want you to get, and that's why I feel like I separate myself from a lot of the guys out here. I'm not a money grabber, I'm all about developing the kids. And my proud dad moment, since I don't have any children, is watching it come to fruition when they finally step on the field. Yeah. That's me.
I like it, Coach.
Nah, I mean, I could piggyback on a lot of stuff that he said. What separates me personally is my instant results. So if you out there with me, you on the field with me, and you in the clinic, you in the camp, you training, I can get the results right now. So I don't practice bad habits, right? So they say,
Come on.
Practice makes perfect. No, perfect practice makes perfect. So I'm not going to let you practice bad habits. You could do 100 things really bad and be really good at doing something really bad. So, no, we're going to critique that. And we'll sit there and we'll work on that technique over and over. And then I'm also real good at getting guys to believe in themselves.
Yep.
Right? Just getting guys motivated. Not necessarily, shout out to the motivational speakers and all that. But it's more or less a belief system, because you could do it. I ain't never seen nobody die trying to do what I'm trying to get you to do. So I know you could do it. So I got to get you to believe and understand that you could do it. So I'm big on that area, that no excuses, just results. But getting the right now results, getting the right now transformation out of the kid. Like one session, you're going to see something change.
Absolutely.
You're going to learn something.
Yep.
And by the time we get to session 10, 12, you elite. Or don't say you train with me.
Right.
What about you, Train?
I think that the thing that separates me is when I train an athlete, I go in with a plan, but if I see something's not right, I can scratch that plan and get right to it,
Yep.
aka instant result.
Yep.
So when he's not doing something and, I want him to do something, I start off, hey, hit these cones, make sure your knees are high, cut this way, come back to me, find the color. Yep. If he can't do that and he can't even run right, all right, scratch that. Let's just run this, and we'll go over and over and over and over again.
That's right.
Until he figured that out.
Back to the basics.
Back to the basics. I don't run away from the basics. I don't run away from being boring.
Yep.
People want to be, let me get this on film. Hold on, do that again.
Yeah.
That don't look right.
Yep.
Hey, let's do this. Like, bro, listen, I can do, like you said, we can do all of that. But when are you ever going to use that instead of putting it on IG or YouTube and people like, oh, that's tight, I want to try it. We can create that all day. Yeah. But is it going to transition to the field? Mm-hmm. And also the knowledge of the game that I have, like we all have. Mm-hmm. We can make these drills and be able to tell you when you're going to use it and why you're going to use it and what's the reason for using it.
Just the IQ.
And what everybody else what they're doing is going to make you do this. Yep. And they're like, man, what? Like, yeah, bro, football really don't change. You just got different names. Yep. Just different names. Yep. So I think that's what, in my attention to detail, I think that's what kind of separates me, and I think we all share those same qualities. That's why I asked, because I'm listening to you. I'm like, yeah, I possess that. I'm listening to you.
Or
like,
even what
yeah.
you said as far as changing your format once you see that the individual that you're training can't grasp a drill that you're trying to get him to do, or the workout, exercise, whatever the case may be. You said you changed it. That's a good sign of a good coach, period.
Come on.
So a good coach can adjust. I can't stand the coaches that go in there and they got the game plan and they got the notebook and and we got to stick to the script and this is what we're doing, and you're an agenda coach.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that agenda went out the window
It
when
ain't
they
working.
busted us in the mouth. I need to fight. Hey, put little Johnny over here and move Sammy over top of there and then roll into. How quick can I make the adjustment to get the result that I need right now? You making the adjustment by, hey, hold on, you can't do the 4-cone drill, then find the color. All right, pick your left foot up and then drive your knee with your right arm. You know what I mean? You dummy it down, but you just made an adjustment. Now you're going to get the result out of it. So shout out to the coaches that ain't agenda coaches as well. You come out there and make an adjustment, man. So,
So that was all set up to lead me into this last thing right quick.
sir.
You a defensive coach. I'm sorry, I keep tapping
defensive
your side.
coordinator, you know.
Defensive coach.
That's
at
what
DC.
big guys do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ow, my
Nah, we
muscles.
good.
No, I'm just kidding. In DC, being a quarterback, offensive guy, offensive mind.
talk
Okay,
that talk.
you played at the high level, Big Ten Player of the Year. You looking at the defense, you dissecting the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? And you got this man across from you. You got 4 downs.
Let's go.
You got 17 seconds. Yes, 17 seconds.
Oh, man.
You on a 25, no timeouts.
25.
Actually, you got one timeout. One
25.
timeout.
Ooh.
You got one timeout.
And
Okay.
He's going to take me through a 4-play scenario?
Yes,
Let's
he's
go.
gonna go
4
first.
plays?
4 play. I
go.
need the formation.
You playing safety?
No. He's the
defensive
DC
coordinator.
OC.
Got
I'm Coach
Got you,
OTB, by
got
the
you,
way.
got you.
So we got 17 seconds, ball on the 25,
25.
one timeout. All right. What formation you coming out in this first down?
Well, we called it lucky at Penn State. So it's basically, it's 11 personnel.
Okay.
Okay.
11 personnel. I got a smash combo to the left.
What's that formation look like though?
2-by-1.
Oh, okay. Lucky is you got twins to the left, tight end offset to the right, and we got our second flanker backside.
Okay.
2-by-1.
2-by-1 back.
2-by-1, yeah.
2-by-1. One back.
Okay.
All right. I got smash.
Shotgun under center?
Shotgun.
Okay.
Shotgun. I'm elusive, so I got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got legs too, baby.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to see it. 2-by-1. Boom. What's your strength? Where you got your tight end?
Offset to the right.
Offset to
To
the
the
right.
right.
So
Yep,
strong
yeah,
left for my
backside.
defense.
Mhm.
Yep.
Strong left for my defense, twin left. You got so what formation I'll come back in? I'll probably either come out in straight man, right? I'll come out of front. Listen, hear me out now.
We ain't talking about the athletes. I know what you think.
I
Who you
understand
got.
that.
I know.
I
who-
understand that. I got man beaters too.
Okay.
Remember, I'm
I
aggressive.
got man beaters too.
I know.
It's 17 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
You got to put pressure on the I ain't gonna just sit back and drop in no zone, right?
Yes, sir.
So we got twins, right? 2-by-1 on the left side for you. So that makes it the right side for me. So obviously I'm locked up on the outside with my field corner, my number 1 corner. I'm bringing my strong safety down because he's probably going to be a hybrid. He's going to be an athlete. I'm not going to trust a backer to play that number 2 slot. So I'm going to bring an athlete down to play that slot. And then I have my mic in my inside. I mean, I have my strong backer still, right? Then I still have my mic and I still have my wheel.
You got your wheel.
So if you read option and you doing anything inside, I'm still heavy in the inside.
Yeah.
And I'm locked up backside with my corner manned up. But he also has over the top help because he has a free over the top help with me. That's playing the 2-by-1. So I'll probably have him sitting middle high, right? Sitting middle high. He's not going to cheat to the twin side because you don't necessarily have to because I still have strength with my backers inside. But I'll probably have him split to play that alley just in case that run down solo side try to get open. Kind of they did it today. I seen it. But anyhow, and then I'm bringing my weak backer or my strong backer, obviously because it's strong right for you guys, strong left for me. So I'm bringing my strong backer down. I'm locking him up on that tight end. I'm telling him let's play football.
Any pressure?
Yeah, that's why I'm doing all that because I'm either bringing my will or my mic.
Oh.
So you
and
got
want
at
to
least
figure it
5
out.
coming. 4 down
Yeah,
linemen?
4 down linemen.
So
you
that'll
got
still
5.
give me 4 guys I can use because I can turn it to max protect. Keep my
So
tight end
here's
in.
the thing.
Yep.
So he's reacting off your formation.
Right.
Hopefully you already had a play in mind.
Yeah, I got a few.
So just the play that you were going to give me, because he's just reacting off formation. The first play that you thought when you said lucky, can you beat that defense?
Yeah.
What's the play?
It's a man beater.
It's a man beater, right?
But
So,
did you know he was playing man though?
He's
Nah,
he
but
got
he
to run
said
a
it-
smash or a combo. Me a smash concept.
I got a
did.
smash.
That's right, he said, right.
I got a smash combo. I got my blitz beater backside at about 5 steps. So if your Mike or your Sam comes,
Yep.
all right, because you got them either locked in. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna have my tight end release.
Okay.
drag, because I always
Because
got
you got to pull him out.
I got to pull that guy out. So he's going to follow him. So initially, I got one-on-one backside with my 5-step slant.
Yep.
No lane up underneath. I mean, an easy lane up underneath, depending on how he's playing man here. Now, if my slot guy beats him clean on that smash route, that corner, oh yeah, I'm dotting that thing up to the corner.
Over the top now because you got it. I'm relying on my safety.
And I know my discipline, so I'm gonna stare that free safety right in his face until I'm at the top of my drop and bombs over back.
Nah, I got
you. But you said that slot was your hybrid safety, correct?
Yeah, he could play that athlete. He could play that athlete. So I'm trusting him.
I'm taking that chance.
I'm taking that chance. Not only that, depends on their alignment. First part of the alignment, then going into the assignment.
For sure.
What's their splits? You know, is it tight cut or is it tight split or a split cut, whatever the case may be. Might play combo with them. So if he does run that mash route to the corner, well, I got my front side corner bailing out, and he's going to catch that corner route.
But at that point, I got to hit my hitch. I got to hit my hitch.
So you hit your hitch, and you're going to run. We're going to
So people don't know when you have a smash combo, who you reading?
Oh, well, depending on the coverage. So, I mean, obviously he said we're in man. We're in man. I'm taking my best matchups. I got my hitch far side with the twin side.
And for my quarterback.
And then a corner from the slot.
College quarterbacks and defensive quarterbacks. Coach, where you going to play? I'm bringing pressure.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm bringing pressure. I might even send a double mic blitz and just sell the house. But here's another thing, though, because you spoke to that slant backside. So I'm probably going to play a DN hero. I'm probably going to let my defensive end come up field hard, and he's going to drop back in that flats. And he's going to rob that window.
Yeah.
Because I'm bringing that pressure. So if I do bring it off that edge or if I do bring it inside.
That DN ain't athletic enough to get under that slant.
Come on, man.
What's your running back doing? He's standing in the block or he releasing?
He's getting spied by that mic right there.
He's getting spied. He's going to check. No pressure. He's going to release. He's either going in or he's either going out on that leverage of that backer that's playing. And my guy's usually going to win that. And then on top of that, if you got that DN dropping back, if you got your backer working on a running back, you forgot these 2 legs from 1-7.
So
I'm out.
So what?
You're just the OC though. You're not. You're just the OC.
Okay, well my quarterback can move. All right, you're right. I keep thinking about me.
I'm out. No, you still
okay, well my QB out because I know I got a little QB up in there.
Yeah, so that's a good scenario. So that's first play. That's
1 second. You just said okay.
Go ahead.
Second play. I say 7-yard game. Okay, 2nd and 2. You use a timeout. Did you make it out of bounds?
What?
Where'd you throw? Tell me what you threw.
I'm saying if we got a 7-yard play.
Would you throw?
Would I throw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you throw?
No, what did he do? He had to do to make it that. He had to
the
hit
7
that,
yards.
He had to hit that hitch, or he had to hit the.
I either hit the hitch or the backside slant.
Tell me which one you hit.
All right, so I hit the backside slant.
Hit the backside
So you got to
slant.
call a timeout.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to call timeout because we inbound.
Okay. So we got 11 seconds left.
Okay.
So 7-yard game. That puts us on what yard line?
Oh yeah.
So we on the 18.
So I got it.
18-yard line.
All right, so this time I'm gonna go trips left to the field.
Trips left to the field.
Still got my lone receiver to the backside. All right.
Trips left to the field.
Trips left to the field. All right.
Okay. Single side.
My widest receiver to the field as a comeback because I gotta have my.
I don't know.
No, don't tell me the route.
Oh, okay.
So
So trips to the left.
So trips right for the defense.
You've been watching film. You know he got to come back.
Yeah. 3A. So
Is what it is.
I'm gonna tell you the defense is gonna play for that anyway. So I'm gonna call Diamond. Right. I'm gonna call Diamond. Diamond is gonna put my front side corner in cover 3. Right.
Okay.
The corner to the field side to the trip side. We'll have cover 3. My nickel backer will come down, reroute, play heavy flats. But he'll play that kind of like a man concept. Anything past that yards, he's going to commit to it. So he'll come down, play heavy flats.
Match.
And then he'll play match.
Yeah.
Then I got my 1 high free safety, right, sitting down. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. So we got front side corner, field corner. My strong safety comes over and rolls in the box. He's my triangle diamond player. He's at the top of my peak. So he's playing in that 8-yard box. He's catching corner, he's catching seam, he's catching post, he's catching dig. Then I have my nickel come down there and be real aggressive, reroute everything to the flats, reroute everything underneath. You jump it, you got over the top help. Sell out right now. Then I have my Mike backer, right? Then we strong on your trip side. I have my outside, I have my peak point, I have my under. My Mike backer in my diamond coverage picks up anything that crosses his face to the middle. Now I got him running with middle help. Still have 1 high free safety over the top. Backside corner, you the best corner right now. You going to the league, you going to college, you Power 5, you lock the man backside. Take heavy inside leverage. And even if you want to play off, play off. And then guess what? We coming with a little bit of pressure off the edges. You know what I mean? If I can. So
We still cover. I mean, we still.
y'all still covering. Now,
Yeah,
you
we
said you
still
wanted to
cover.
run that comeback. Now,
Yeah. No, I mean in terms of blitzing. I still got time.
Oh, yeah, you
I
still got time because
yeah.
now everybody has to be accounted for. So that Mike backer, I'm not going to send him right now. But what is that other backer over there doing? he has hook curl to flat, or I could just tell him backside, sit there and spy, or if it presents itself, you hit that first gap that opens
So what's
up.
the coverage?
So it's diamond. So it's cover three kind
Three.
of
Cover
concept
three
front
diamond.
side and man backside.
Man, back. Got you.
And that's another thing. Outside backer on that side will have the hook curl to flat. And there's no other threats because you got tripped. So I'm locked up with that running back. That's my man. That running back doesn't release. Oh, that's a flow
I
play.
still
I'm
got
on
4 routes out
I'm
there.
on his ass.
Give it to me.
All right, so you obviously know that outside that front guy, that first guy to the sideline to the trips. He got the comeback. All right. Your slot guy, if he matches with my my second receiver coming in, all right, I obviously got that comeback to the sideline.
Yep.
All right, but you got the diamond guy matching with him. All right, but I got him running the seam route.
That's going to be my strong safety. Got to catch that.
Cool.
He's sitting 8 yards in the box.
Cool. Got my guy running the seam route. My third guy's running an over.
Yeah, I know. Big post.
Running an
they
over.
already know.
Running an over. He's going to occupy that mic. He's just going to get right. He run right across the face of the free safety. He's going to have to choose.
And that free safety going to have to come have a seat.
And you said it's back. and you said backside is man.
Backside, I still got my nickel player or my weak backer or whoever the case may be. He's either man with that running back or he's spy. That back doesn't come back. I'm spying quarterback, or I'm heavy hook curl, helping Robin that backside man.
But in the end, the corner is one-on-one.
Corner
with my
one-on-one.
runner.
I trust him, man. That's
We
me
used to
out
do
there
it
on
all the
island.
time in college. I'm calling a shake route, post corner.
Yep.
Post corner to
It's
the back
hard
of
for
the end zone.
and that's a natural route to get out of that.
Yeah,
because
man.
it's hard for that safety to get over the top. But I'm in your hip pocket. I'm trusting my young boy being in his hip pocket.
DC, you know how we do it. Get us out of here.
We on the way out of
That's
here,
only
man.
2 plays. I got to
This the play right
Hey, we
here.
school.
Yep. Here we go. We starting that play right now.
What did he say?
Out of there.